the false self. This is the neurotic self. We are all this banana, all of us, from age 4 to 5 on. This peeling is made up of false claims, shoulds. I should do this, I should do that. I deserve this, I deserve that. It's completely encompassing and closing. There's no way in. This is the persona, the false self that we have created around us. This is your breaking point. This is self-realization, studying, growing, changing. This is self-actualization. This is what we call finding ourselves. We're finding ourselves. We're peeling back the neurotic layers and pulling them away, cleaning it up. And this is the true self, buried under the false self. It's authentic. It's transparent. It's obvious. It's vulnerable. This is the fruit. This is the soul. This is the true self. Our entire work in life is to get rid of this so that we can live this. This holds our purpose, our mission, our relationships, our happiness. This is the payoff.
Hi everybody, it's me, Kim, and this is my housing at the hospital, and my roommates are out of town this weekend. It's Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. So I have the place to myself, so I thought I would just video here, not disturbing anybody. And we will get started. Our topic today is the false self. So what is the false self? And we're going to work on that mind-body connection like we always do. So rock through your feet. You got to find the mountain pose. We're going to start in standing today. Rocking back and forth through your feet. Rock forward and back. Smaller and smaller and smaller until you come to a midpoint on the tripod of your feet. Belly in and up. Tail moves slightly down towards the floor so you're not tucked under. Don't let the knees, but the knees are straight. So it's just a natural stance, belly up, tail slightly down. Bring your ribs closer together and put them down into your pockets. See the difference between this? Look at my rib cage. Here's my rib cage when I do that. It's tilted back. So I'm going to straighten out my rib cage so that, look at my side seam. That's a really nice cheat. You can tell by people's side seam whether their rib cage is tilted back. It's got like an arch here. And when you close the low front ribs and make the rib cage perpendicular to the floor, you'll see the side seam will drop straight down. Same thing with the pants. If you have loose pants on and you're here or here, the side seam will curve. If you're in the middle, the side seam drops straight down. Now retract your head back on top of your spine, make a double chin. Chin is parallel to the floor. Shoulders roll up, back, and down. So the shoulder blades are coming down the back, and then you'll probably have to close the low front ribs again. The minute you go up, down, and back, the rib cage tilts back with it. So then bring the ribs back. Now you're in perfect posture. Take a big inhale, arms reach overhead. Okay, I guess I'll teach overhead today. I haven't taught it yet. I keep putting it off, don't I? Exhale, right foot's going to step back into warrior two. I'll teach arms overhead with stork in just a minute. So build your mountain pose again. Tailbone points straight down, belly in, rib cage perpendicular to the floor. Retract your head. You're looking in the direction of your sternum. Then you retract your head, and then let's set the arms. Arms slap water up, turn the palms towards your head, straighten the elbows, pull the blades down the back, knit the ribs together, low front ribs, and then from the wrist, you're going to turn the palms down so that the shoulders stay exactly like they were, and then super straighten the elbows like you're reaching towards opposing walls, like you're going to touch them. Retract your head, look over the left ring finger or the front ring finger. Again, blades down the back, especially this back shoulder, it wants to ride up. So pull the shoulder blade down the back, the scapula. Breathe like you mean it. While you're here, you're setting up the front knee. So you want that tripod on the foot, again, both feet. You'll have to press into the outer edge of the back foot. You're on a pretend tightrope, and the back foot is turned in about 45 degrees off of midline. Midline is the tightrope that you're on. Now this knee has to point in the direction of your second toe, so you can even put your fingers on the outside of the knee and push into your fingers until you get that knee to line up with the second toe. Breathe like you mean it. This is a power move. You got to breathe like you mean it. Big power. You can lift the front heel if you want. So today, and you can spread your fingers wide like a starfish if you like to. Today we're going to talk about the topic of the false self as in compared to the true self. Whenever there's, in anatomy they have a brevis and a longus. If they have a longus of a muscle, that means there's a brevis. If there's a long, there's a short, or they wouldn't call it the long one. So same thing here. If there's a false self, there's a true self. And lucky for us, there's just two. You're going to slide into a triangle. It's just a nice place to transfer here. Hand can be at the top of the knee. I prefer the hand at the hip just to keep the knee from bowing backwards or putting any pressures. Walk the back foot in, about 6 to 8 inches. And then you're going to elongate your spine, lean. Your chest is trying to face the side wall, but this knee still has to point in the direction of the second toe. So that means you have to squeeze the glute a little bit and the deep rotators. Retract your head. And you can look up here. You can send the arms straight up if you like. Big, deep breathing. So the false and true self is like a banana, a closed banana. There's a peeling on the banana and then the banana's inside. The true self is the nutritious, living part, and with all the vitamins and everything you want, that's all in the middle. But it's closed up around the false self. The false self surrounds it and protects it. Bend the front knee, come out of this. Actually, bring your back foot up to your front. We're going to go into the arms overhead. Build your mountain pose. Feet, belly, ribs, shoulders, head. Now the arms are going to come overhead. And the trick here is your arms only go to 160 degrees of flexion. That is this angle. Your arms do not go straight overhead unless you're hypermobile. They go here. This is as high as they will go with the spine in neutral. Now they will go above your head, but they have to buy 10 degrees of extension from the back to do that. And here's my gripe is everyone buys it from the mid-back, from T12, L1, and that area of the spine does not like that back bending, all that pressure. You do not want to put the extension there. You want to buy it from the upper back. The upper back has this forward curve to it. And if you give it 10 degrees of extension, it just pulls it back to almost straight up and down. It doesn't even pull it out of flexion. It just gets it's this kyphotic flexion of the upper back. You're just getting 10 degrees out of that. That's fine. So that's where you want to buy this from. So think about, this is flat. So you've got to when you knit the low front ribs together, the mid-back will stay flat. Keep that. You got to really hold on here. And then back bend right behind the heart. And to do that, you have to like stick your chest out right above the heart, Like you're sticking your collarbones out and spreading your collarbones is another cue people use a lot. And then give me 10 degrees. And once you get the 10 degrees there, then you can slide the arms into place. Now you can get to 180. So again, you're not here, you're here. Very, 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 very different. You will develop pain in the middle of your back if you keep doing this. Not only are you in extension in a place that shouldn't be, you're putting weight on top of it. The weight of your arms, the weight of your upper body is crushing that extent, or pushing or compressing that extension, that poor movement pattern. Breathe. I get on a soapbox. Exhale, right foot goes back for warrior one. Now you naturally slip into a back bend in warrior one, but I want to come out of it some. So pull the belly in and up, bend the back knee. Anchor the tailbone straight down towards the floor. I want neutral spine from the tailbone to the top of the head, and you can bring the arms to 160, 160 degrees of flexion. So belly pulls in and up. And remember, I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but you'll get this. You're with me 12 weeks. You're going to get this again. So tailbone goes down, belly pulls in and up. This hip does have to go back slightly. You can pull it forward as much as your body allows because the back heel is lifted. So the hips will square to front. If the foot was down on the floor, they will not square to front, but it's lifted. So pelvis can square to front, tailbone down, knit the ribs together, arms come overhead, 10 degrees of extension, 10 degrees of back bend right behind the heart or even higher above the heart. And then the arms can slide into place. You can reach high, spread the fingers, knee points in the direction of the second toe. Breathe like you mean it. Left sitting bone is reaching towards your back inner thigh to get the deep external rotators of this front hip. Breathe like you mean it. The back knee is probably bent because the minute you straighten it, you'll go into this big back bend. So keep it bent. Spine is always priority. We want neutral here. Back foot comes up to the front. If the knee has to bend to accommodate the spinal alignment, that's what we do. Because the spinal alignment is priority. Trust me. When you have back pain, you can't... That's a nasty one. You can't sit, you can't lay down, you can't move, you can't walk, you can't exercise. This is your priority. And remember, the electrical system, the chakra system, the nervous system travels through it. Very important. Build your mountain. Arms come to 160. Back bend right above the heart. Then allow the arms to slide into place. Really holding on to this front. This is the upper transverse abdominis, if you want to look it up. So the corset muscle comes right, attaches to these ribs. So its fibers run this way. So it's closing these ribs for you. You're working the upper abs. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps way back for warrior two on the other side. Belly in and up, tail anchors down, shoulders up, back and down, close the low front ribs, slap water up, palms up or towards the head, extend the elbows, straighten the elbows, turn the palms down from the wrist and reach. You can spread the fingers wide like a starfish if you like. Tripod on both feet, which means you're pushing into the outer edge of the back foot. Back sitting bone is pulling towards your back inner thigh. Pulling it in, that will rotate, that will screw the front foot into the floor. It'll outwardly rotate the hip is really what it's doing. And as a result, you get this screwing sensation in the front foot and the knee lines up with the toe. Everything's great. Now, or you can blade the fingers together, but do something with the hands. Breathe and reach. Power breathing. Breathe like you mean it. Belly in and up. Knit the low front ribs together. Drive the shoulder blades down the back and reach. So the false self is really easy, actually. And remember, this is a compilation of all the studies that I've done, whether it's in psychology or yoga philosophy or Eastern philosophy. All those things are making up what I'm talking about. Oh, and I try to put any references in the description box afterwards. So you can look it up yourself, study it yourself. It's all there. Now we're going to move into a triangle. You got to walk the feet in some. Hand at the hip joint. I'm doing my hand like this and pressing the hip back, unleveling the pelvis to get the inner thigh a little bit more. Stack the hips, shoulder blades down the back, elongate the spine. Arm can go up towards the sky. Spread the fingers, retract your head and kiss your shoulder. Big deep breathing. So the false self is just a big, huge pile of neurotic claims that we have built over decades, depending on how old you are. It starts when we're about 4 or 5 years old. We start trying to protect ourselves because, just like Marissa Peer says, we don't believe we're enough. So we start building this banana peel of neurotic claims. And then release. Back foot comes to the front. And you know it's a neurotic claim if you can put I deserve or I should in front of it. So if you put I should in front of it, that means somebody else is telling you that's what you should do, and you're building it as a response to what you think they want you to do. And I deserve actually is generated by from within, and that's neurotic too. A neurotic is not a clinical diagnosis. We'll go over the definition of neurotic later. You can look that up too. Building your mountain. We're going into warrior one. Remember these arms. Feet, belly, shoulders, head. Inhale. Arms to 160. Make sure you close this hard, and then back bend right behind the heart. Stick the chest out. The high chest presses out to give you your extra. 10 degrees is tiny. 10 degrees, arms reach up. Now the left foot's going to go way back, 3 to 4 feet, depending on how tall you are. And yes, you're going to go into this big back bend, but I want neutral. So hips face forward, belly pulls in and up again. Close the low front ribs. Back knee bends. That's fine. Back ischial 2, back sitting bone is reaching towards the back inner thigh, and that will open up the knee for you. You can lift the front heel if you wanted to add to this. Breathe, reach up into the heavens, spread your fingers or blade, up to you. Breathe like you mean it. So I deserve is false. You don't deserve anything. You don't deserve anything. There is no I deserve this, I deserve that. That's neurotic. That needs to come out of your vocabulary. So with all of these neurotic claims, I deserve, I should, we start to compartmentalize them into areas, into piles. So say you have this huge pile of I deserve and I should. And the mind is so smart, it's going to start separating them out into piles and categories. And come up. And we call those archetypes. Now you can look into the archetypal research in psychology. Actually, it's psychiatry and psychology. There's tons of it. There's tons of programs that you can do for archetypal healing. And the originator of that philosophy is Carl Jung, who was Freud's student or protege, however you want to look at that. And then they had disagreements and he went off on his own. And then Carl Jung developed the whole archetype system. And we've been using it ever since. So, you know, we're talking about the 30s and 40s, 50s. And it's still being used. The psychologists are still using it. The psychiatrists are still using it. It's a pretty solid theory. It's a nice way of compartmentalizing these issues. Turn your palms up. We're going into the stork. So you have to build your mountain, perfect posture, flex at the hip, 90, 90, 90. 90 degrees at every joint. You can bring your arms overhead if you want to, but remember, knit the ribs together, extension in the upper back, way upper back, like I'm talking way up here, above the bra strap level. Breathe like you mean it. I'm going to bring my arms down because I'm talking and it's hard for me to control. This must be controlled or you can hurt yourself. And I'm using my abs, so I can't control this very well. Balance. If this is too much, then lower it a little. Hips are pointing forward. You are in neutral spine. Retract your head. And you can hold a chair. You fall down, you get back up, you do it again. So there are 4 main piles. Actually, all of us have about 20 piles. There's like hundreds of archetypal patterns. We all have our own personal mix of patterns, a mix of archetypes. Like there's the queen archetype, and there's the servant archetype, and there's everything. The magic child archetype, which is, there's tons of them. But there's 4 that absolutely all of us have. And I know you're going to go, not me. Yeah, you. You're human. You are human. I know you don't want to be. I know you want to be special and unique, but you're along for the ride with the rest of us. Build your mountain. You do have these 4, plus you have 20 others that are the combination is unique to you. I'm just getting a little, we're all the same. We are all human. If you're in this, if you've been put in this species category, we're the same. So I keep getting with this diet, with this, you know, how to eat, count the calories, the 200 5 times a day, the insulin. I get so much pushback from the people around me going, no, but when I have to eat this way and I have to eat this way and I know what works and I eat that way. And it's like, really? That's why there's 30 pounds on your body? You really know? You are still human. You still fall under the guidelines of insulin. You still have insulin in your body. You work the same way as the rest of us. And we have researched this to death. We actually know this one. Please listen to the research. Remember, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. So we are here during this 12 weeks to get a different result, which means we have to do something different than what you're currently doing. So give it a go. If it fails, you're gonna, I think I'll try something else. That's perfectly fine. But stick with the program. Belly in and up, shoulders up, back and down, retract your head. Flex at the left hip, stork. Arms can be overhead. I'm over cuing the arms overhead because we're learning it. So knit the ribs together. Arms come to 160 degrees of flexion. 0, 190, 160. Ribs knit together, extend right behind the heart, then slide it up to 180. Control it, breathe. Those 4 piles of neurotic claims, those I should, I deserve claims. I deserve an ice cream cone because I worked all day. I deserve you to be nice to me. That's a good one. I deserve that new pair of clothes. I deserve to eat as much as I want to eat. I deserve, it goes on and on and on and on and on, doesn't it? That's what I mean by I deserve. That big pile, the 4 piles we all share are the inner child, the victim. So the inner child, let me go over that. The inner child is, I need to be protected. I need to be safe. Please take care of me. The victim, I'm this way because they hurt me. I'm this way because I was victimized. It was somebody else that did this to me. That's why I am the way I am. And I am not belittling. There are some horrific things on this planet. I'm so not belittling that. And then release. Woo. Just bend forward. Drop your head. Let's stretch out that. It is a lot of work. And we're going to do a little more for Warrior 3. So you did Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Stork, and then we'll do the Warrior 3, just so you'll have those for your repertoire. Drop your head. You can nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Traction for the neck. Bend your knees so that the low back contraction itself, lengthen itself. Hold your elbows. You can go from side to side if you want. The third one is the prostitute. And the prostitute sells a piece of the soul for security or money, safety, protection. It's a trade. You trade a piece of your soul for security. We all do it. To feel safe and taken care of. Bend your knees and roll up through your spine, inhaling. And then the fourth one is the saboteur, sabotage, self-sabotage. We throw things, we know the path, or we find a path that we think may work, and we throw things on the path so that we can't make it. Rock forward and back. We're going to do Warrior 3. You want to step back to the back edge of your mat. I don't even have a mat. So again, we don't have to have toys. So like for this program, it is an hour and a half long, and you've got to do 20 minutes of cardio. So you're looking at 2 hours out of your day, every day, 5 days a week. That's a lot. So you might have carved it all out, and then you're like, oh, but I want to be the president of the PTA. So you throw that in, and that's a big rock, time-wise. You've just sabotaged your time. You're almost there. And then you throw something in the mix that really screws everything up so that you can't do it. We do this all the time. We all do it. Coming to mountain pose. Now the arms do go overhead in this one, so beware. Close the low front ribs. Arms will come forward. Arms come to 160 degrees. Extension right behind the heart or above it. And then slide the arms into place. The arms make a starfish. Arms really have to work hard to hold such a thing. And then you're going to step out onto the right foot, hinging at the right hip joint only. So you're like a seesaw. As the upper body goes down, the lower body goes up. Lower the left hip and reach. Breathe like you mean it. Now you can bring the arms down anywhere along here if your back hurts. Belly in and up. Lift, 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 and step back. Woo, shake it out. Rock through your feet. Build your mountain. Taking a moment. Just feel the 2 halves of your body, like compare them. Ooh, the right side feels all energized and the left side feels like it's kind of moving downward. This side feels this is what it feels like to me. This side feels rock solid. This side feels like it's doing this. Mountain. Inhale, arms to 160. Extension above, behind the heart. Reach the arms up. Close the low front ribs again to tighten up the upper transverse. Step out with the left foot. Right foot goes back. Hinge at your left hip. Lift, hinge, lift, hinge. Drop the right hip until the pelvis is level. Breathe like you mean it. Ujjayi. Shift your weight into more of the balls of the feet so then you won't hyperextend. 2 more. And step back. Feel your mountain. We're going to come down to the floor for some ab work. I'm going to start with serving the platter. So serving the platter is typical. I'll show you here first, and then I'm going to show you in the chair because I actually like it way better in the chair, and I'll show you why. So very tall spine. You're at tabletop, palms up, and then you're going to go back and back up like this. What I find is it digs deep into the hip flexors, and we want the abs. It's so difficult to do that it transfers to the hip flexors and the abs get skipped, whereas this isolates the ab work, and anybody can do this. Not everybody can do that. So very tall spine, turn your palms up, mountain pose from your tailbone to the top of your head. You're holding a platter. Inhale. Exhale, you're just going to hinge back from the hip joints. So you're like a board that's just tilting back. Inhale. Exhale, come up. Inhale. Exhaling back. Inhale. Exhale, come back up. So if you're getting really confused about all the stuff I'm talking about, I suggest that you read the book Neurosis and Human Growth by Karen Horney, who, we're still going, keep going, who is a very famous psychiatrist who actually knew Carl Jung and Freud. She was that same era. A lot of her stuff wouldn't get published because she was a woman, but later it did. And she was getting published as a woman, which is quite remarkable. She's like in the top 3 psychiatrists in the world in the modern day are those 3. And she wrote Neurosis and Human Growth. We have a course in our curriculum online at Firmwater Road, Inhale, where we have a study guide and we walk through chapter by chapter by chapter. You are welcome to join that group. It will probably be up in a couple of months. We'll give you the study guide. You'll read it. We'll read it together. We'll talk about it together because it is deep and it is gut-wrenching, really. And it will, you want something to open your eyes? That will open your eyes. Inhale. I've done that book study at least 13 times, at least. I've been doing that book study since probably 2005, maybe once a year. It's that amazing. Now we're going to add rotation to this. Inhale, exhale, lean back. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to twist a little in the upper body and serve the platter to a person on your right. Inhale, pause. Exhale, bring it back. Hands come in. It makes it harder when your hands come in. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Serve the platter out. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale. Exhale. So exhale with the effort. E, exhale, effort. Sniff on the pauses. Pull the belly to the spine. And you don't have to come all the way up. There's nothing up here. So you want to still be back a little bit as your high point. You want a little tension on the abs at all times. So I want to invite you to that. If you're confused or you want to know more about it or you're like, where's she getting this? What is this? There's your resource. Exhale, come back up. And I know it sounds like a shameless plug, but I just don't want to leave you out in the lurch with nowhere to go with that one because it's big. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. I think it's like 10 hours. It's a 10-hour class. There's 10 chapters. Or we put some chapters together. I think there's 13 chapters. We put it into 10 sessions. So even in that book, she makes this comparison. In 1940, she makes this comparison. And that is the false self is equal to Frankenstein. And that's what the book Frankenstein is about. You know, these classic books, the reason they hang around is not because it's about a monster. It's about there's something real that's being said here, and she talks you through exactly what is being said. It is an example of the false self and the true self. Inhale, exhale. So Dr. Frankenstein builds a monster. So in this position, we'll do the figure 4 piriformis stretch. All those standing things that we just did, we need a stretch. So you can be in the chair with the figure 4 and lean over. You're going to move the legs to the foot on the floor. The legs as a unit move in that direction about an inch until you find the piriformis muscle, which is deep inside the butt. It's near the hip. And you'll feel it. You'll go, oh, that's tight. Hang out there. Drop your head. Probably don't prop yourself up on your elbows because then you won't go anywhere. Now, if you're on the ground, you've seen this one a million times. It's here. Same thing, you just shift the legs. I'm holding my left leg, so I shift the legs as a unit to the left about 2 inches until I feel the middle of my hip joint light up. And then it's like, whoo, found it. Shoulders down the back, lengthen your head. Breathe. Flex at the ankles and spread the toes, just to bring your consciousness all the way down to the bottoms of your body, to the extremities of your body. So Dr. Frankenstein invents a monster, basically, to protect him. And that's what the false self is. It is part of the imagination of the mind that has been invented to protect you. It's the shoulds and I deserves. Those are imaginary. And we have put them in piles of belief systems of the inner child, the prostitute, the saboteur, and the victim, and many others. And then those are our belief systems. I believe I'm a child, and so that's the way I'm going to act and behave, and my relationships are going to reflect that. And I work from that pile all the time. I'm an inner child, so I deserve somebody to get my food for me. No, you don't. You're not a child. So do you see how it's not real? And it turns into a monster. It turns into a monster that ruins your relationships, that drags the peace out of you. So it has become the false self, the banana peel itself, and the banana peel surrounds the soul, the banana, the nutritious part. The soul sits inside of the banana peel, silent, quieted, unattainable. It can't communicate with anybody or anything. It can't translate its nutrients. It doesn't see anything. It's buried under the banana peel, silenced. And that, my friends, is anxiety. Switch. Anxiety, stress, depression, that predicament of being a banana, knowing you're a banana, so the hand goes through the hole, interlaced behind the hamstring, squeeze it in, shift it to the right a couple of inches and squeeze it in, shoulders down to the mat, lengthen the back of the neck. Flex at the ankles, spread the toes. The predicament of being a banana inside of a peel and you can't get out, and you know you have a purpose and a plan and communication skills to the heavens, and you've got work to do on this planet, and you want to live and you want to live life, but you're inside, trapped inside a banana peel that you created out of your imagination, and you have to walk out every day that's compiled of I should and I deserve. And those are sitting in piles of belief systems like the victim and the sabotager and the victim. I keep going back to the victim. Everybody really likes that one. Well, we like all four of them. The prostitute, the child is making, those are the strips of the banana peel. Sitting inside of that is a living hell. And guess what? We are all there together. We're part of the banana bunch. We're all part of a big, huge gaggle or cluster of bananas screaming to get out. We don't know how to get out. And we're silenced. Nobody can even hear our screams. That is stress, anxiety, depression. That depresses me just thinking about it. So we're living with our Frankenstein, and our Frankenstein gets to walk around and integrate with the world, have relationships, self-destruct our world, all of those fun things. Frankenstein gets to do them, and we, the Dr. Frankenstein himself, we're trapped. Release. This is why that book will make you cry. By chapter 3, I wanted to throw up. It's that bad. This is that bad. I'm sorry. I hate to break the news to people, and I know you just want to turn this off and go somewhere else, and half of you probably will. But those of you that have the strength to persevere and go, that's exactly how I feel, bridge, touch your heels, lift, bend the elbows, a little bit different this time, spread the fingers like a starfish, push the elbows into the mat so you're pressing equal pressure from the elbow to the shoulder. That whole bone is getting pressed down into the mat. As you spread your fingers, pull the belly in, tailbone goes up towards the sky, lift your heels, 1 foot up, you decide which version you want, but the sternum, the heart touches the chin, reach it. We've already been doing some back bends, so it'll go there. Belly pulls in, tailbone goes up towards the sky to flatten out the lumbar and to send the curve into the upper back where it belongs. Breathe like you mean it. So next session, we're going to talk about the true self. What is the true self? Now that you understand what the false self is made of, it can be dismantled. You got first step's always awareness. Like in AA, when you go to an AA meeting, the alcoholic stands up and says, "Hi, my name's Jim. I'm an alcoholic." They have to admit the problem. They have to see the problem. They have to admit the problem. They have to be aware of the problem. That's the first step, and then they can remove it. In this class, we're going to attempt to remove the banana peel. Right now we're learning. Then we're going to do 2 weeks of intensive just inner awareness, moving into the alpha theta waves. We're going to do the discipline work in week 4 and 5. And then week 6 through 12, we are going to dismantle the false self. I know that sounds like a huge feat, and it is. It's huge. But I think we can do it. I really, really, really do. And having said that, it is a lifetime of work, but we can start peeling the banana. The banana peel wants to keep coming back. And so we have to keep pulling it away, and then it keeps growing back. But we get better and better and better at it, and it stays away for a day at a time, a minute at a time, then it stays away for a week at a time, then a month at a time, and then we rarely see the banana peel unless something sparks it, and then it'll fold back up to protect ourselves. And then we go, oh yeah, we don't need that banana peel, and we're okay. I am enough. That's why you're doing the I am enough hypnosis. Because the banana is enough. The banana does not need the peel. Not getting the peel off is the trick. And, I've, like everybody else, I've spent 7 years in therapy, $100 a pop, once a week. You're looking at $30,000 I've spent in talk therapy, and I'm not sure that I'm any better off. I'm probably somewhat better off, I'm sure, but 7 years, come on now. It should not take that long. It really shouldn't. Feet together, fold forward. So now you're saying, why should I do this? I mean, why do I want to peel the banana? My life is great the way it is. I like that one. It can be better. It can be better. It can not just better. It can be joyful, peace, harmony, love, slow to anger. Ooh. Next visit, we're going to go through those. The definition of love according to the Bible. The Bible actually defines what love is, and it's a big, long list. And that is a reflection of the true self. The true self is the soul. And it has a frequency. We talked about frequencies last time. And inside that banana peel, the frequency is not getting out. You can't ripple affect other people. You can't feel their frequencies. You're numb. Why do you think we like sedatives and alcohol? We like those because they numb us to the fact that we are a banana inside of a peel and we can't get out. So if I drink every day, I forget. And it gives me a little harmony. And it gives me a little peace that's not a synthetic peace that's not real. But then, it wears off and I come back to the fact that I'm a banana and trapped inside of a peel. And so you start over. So addictions are born of this problem as well. Food addictions are born of this problem. Stress eating is born of this problem. That's why it's important to you. Knees go wide. And if you have knee replacements, you are already in this position and you're going to fold forward. I'm going to say all philosophers, all the big boys, all the religions will say the same thing. Ms. Horney or Dr. Horney in Neurosis and Human Growth says exactly the same thing. The purpose on this planet is to reach self-actualization. It is not to get as many toys as you possibly can, although the toys are fun and I have nothing against the toys. That's not our purpose. So the purpose on this planet is to peel, because this is the human condition, is this banana. So all of us, the work that we do throughout our lifetimes is to peel the peeling away and self-actualize, self-realize. If you're splitting hairs, it's really self-actualize, but self-realization is another word you hear a lot. Transform, enlightenment, all of those, nirvana, all of those words are saying the same thing. The banana no longer has the peel. That is our goal. That is our mission. That is our life's work, is to be a banana without a peel. And then we can change the planet. We can change our lives. We can change. We'll go through it tomorrow, that big long list of what is promised to you. To the right leg. If you get out of the peel. And then money doesn't matter so much. You still need to eat. But it's not it's not an addiction. It's not a driving force. It's not a driving force. Big deep breath. And then you're going to come to the other side. And spoiler alert, we're going to climb out of this peeling pretty darn fast. 7 weeks is pretty fast to try to climb out of peeling, to free yourself. Oh, here's another one. Find yourself. This is what finding yourself means. I was in yoga classes forever. I went to yoga workshops weekend after weekend all over the country. I've worked with some of the biggest names you can find, and they'll send you to another planet. But I used to always go, what does find yourself mean? And nobody could tell me. Well, you'll know it when you see it. That's not a good enough definition for a scientist. I'm not buying that. So I'm giving you a definition. This is the definition of finding yourself. You're the banana. You got to go find it by taking the peeling off. The false self. And you know what? I think that's why I've spent my entire lifetime studying this topic, because no one would give me the answer. Tai Chi. You're going to lift your leg with your hands, move it over, set it down. Inhale, lift it, move it back. Inhale. Other leg, so you'll alternate. Watch your hands. Inhale, rise, the leg in the hands. Exhale, widen and set it down. Inhale, lift it and move it back. Inhale, other leg, lifts, widens, sets down. Like a marionette puppet. Watch your breathing, watch your fingers. Slow it down, slow motion. Get your breaths longer and longer, moving at your own tempo, inhaling as you rise, maybe 5 seconds, maybe 6, maybe 7, exhaling the same amount. Now your mind starts to get bored with this and it wanders into the past and the future. Pull it back, harness it to the body. Tell it to watch the fingers, watch the breath, watch the ribs move. Come inside of the body and monitor what's going on with your mind. Maybe even it can hear the heart rate. Can feel the joints lengthen. Pay attention to your balance. Keep the mind's awareness on the movement, harnessing the body and the mind together. Wiring the keyboard to the screen. The screen is the body. The keyboard mouse is the mind. Keep them together. Make it even slower. Now we're going to fly like a bird. So inhale, you straighten. Exhale, let the hands lower. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, lower. The arms are low. And really feel the motion of the bird in your arms, the wings of a bird. How the elbows start the lift first, then the wrist, then the hands. And you're watching your fingers in your peripheral vision. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Then maybe bring the arms up a little more, a little higher. If it hurts your shoulders, put the thumbs up. And just don't bring the arms as high. Inhale is getting bigger like a balloon. Exhale, the arms deflate and down. You can see your hands in your peripheral vision. Keep the mind tethered to the body. Out of the past, out of the future. The past does not exist. The future does not exist either. Keep the mind out of there. Pull it back into the present moment, which is just you being safely inhaling and exhaling. Part of this practice is chasing down the mind when it runs off. And reminding it where it belongs, in the present with the body, harnessed, wired, together. Bigger wings, bigger, 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 higher, if you can. Now move the head with the hands, look down, inhale, watch one of the hands as you come up and meet at the top, if possible, or it can meet here. Exhale. Watch the other hand on the way down. Inhale. Watch them meet at the top. Exhale down, wings. If you'll notice, we did not do any hard strengthening things for the arms today, but this counts. And the hug the tree in the morning next, hugging the tree next, is really going to put the muscles of the arms to the test. And it's endurance training as opposed to strength training or lifting or pushing. It's can they hold themselves up for long periods? So we're going to move into the tree, hug a tree. Feet can be hip width apart and hug a tree. We're just going to hold it. So be ready to stay here. You can keep the hands close together, or you can start to move them further apart to relieve some of the muscle suffering that's going to go on. But draw the shoulder blades down the back. Like you've got to put the shoulder blades into your back pockets. Pull them down. That'll engage the lower trapezius muscle and stabilize the shoulder blade for you. The shoulder blade is the socket of the arm bone. So it's all about the shoulder blade, the scapula. Now the elbows can point slightly down, which I prefer, which recruits the rotator cuff muscles. And when the elbows come up, it causes an impingement in the shoulder many times. So elbows more down. Close the low front ribs, bend the knees slightly so that the thighs are working. Retract your head back on top of your spine. Get lost in your breath, get fascinated with your breath. Tether the mind to the body. Stare at your fingernails, the creases in the joints in your fingers, the veins and the arteries that you can see in your hands. Keep the mind with the body. It wants to run into the past and run into the future. It wants to run your to-do list. It wants to figure out what's going to be for dinner. Pull it back. Take control. Remind your mind that it is not in charge. You are. And you're taking back control. You will not be led by the mind, the brain. It's just an organ. You're not going to be led by your stomach either. Or your spleen, or your pancreas. We're not led by organs. But the mind really tries. It likes that power position. But you're going to take it back. You'll have a tendency to lean back to counter the weight of the arms, but don't do that. Pull the low front ribs together. Let the abs control the weight of the arms. And the shoulder blades go down the back to stabilize the joint. Soften the neck muscles. They want to recruit to help, but pull the shoulders away from the ears and let the neck muscles soften. If you're starting to struggle with the arms, perform the ujjayi and just bring your mind, let your mind follow the breath. So the ujjayi is the ha sound, but the lips are closed. So it's very audible. It's a raspy sound at the throat. Fill your low back ribs with air when you inhale. They want to collapse. The low back ribs want to collapse because you want to tilt back. So breathe into the low back ribs, low lungs in the back. That'll get them to spread and it'll stop that tilting back. Knit the low front ribs together and breathe into the low back, or the low ribs back. So it's the mid back. Four more breaths. And then shake it out. Meditation, and I'm just sitting on a towel on a pillow against this cushy chair. And you can sit however you like as long as you're comfortable. You don't need any special pillows or you don't need anything special. Just use what you have. So whatever, or you can lay on the ground in a gingerbread man position. There's lots of, if you're sitting, you can turn your palms upwards towards the heavens in acceptance, collecting light, or you can cross them here with the thumbs. Those are all nice positions. And with the legs, you can do whatever you want here too. So take a big inhale and exhale. Feel yourself relax more and more. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let your jaw drop. Release around your eyes and around your mouth. Drop your throat, shoulders, arms, all the way to your fingertips. Drop your shoulders again. Chest releases, belly goes soft, thighs let go, all the way to your tippy toes. Let all the muscles of your face just submit to gravity and sag. Gather up the past, set it on a cloud, let it float away. Everything you did this morning, last night, 10 years ago, set it on a cloud. Let it float away. Affirm the past does not exist. Let it go. Gather up the future, everything you're going to do today, tonight, tomorrow, next year, 5 years, your 5-year plan, your goals. Wrap it up in a blanket. Set it on a cloud. Let it float away. And affirm that the future does not exist either. And all of those goals, they'll come back to you in 20 minutes. So let them go for now. It's okay. Now bring your attention to your heart center. And you're starting to experience the heart itself. Imagine that there is a sphere of energy inside of your heart, any color that you like. And imagine that this sphere of energy, whatever color, is spinning clockwise faster and faster and faster, like a spinning top. And you can feel it more and more. Even right now, as I'm speaking about it, you can feel the tingling sensation inside of your heart begin to increase. And you can feel this tingling sensation spin faster and faster and faster. And the faster it spins, the more you feel the love within it. Feel the expansion go all around you. Now bring the awareness into your stomach. Feel your stomach muscles begin to loosen and relax. Bring the awareness to your left leg, your left foot. Relax your toes. Bring your awareness down to your right leg, your right foot. Relax your toes. Now imagine that there is a wave of energy flowing through your body, and that it starts at your head, goes through the middle of your torso, and then it leaves through the heels of your feet. Imagine any energy that doesn't serve you, any excess energy that you can let go of. Imagine it leaving through your heels right now. You can feel it. You can feel the energy from your heels. Yourself releasing what no longer serves you. The I deserve statements and the I should statements, those beliefs, let them go. Now imagine that you are in a very relaxing place, someplace that you can go anytime that you want, to do some inner work, to become more aware of who you are on the inside, to become more aware of this connection to your heart. This place is a place that you can go. It could be inside, it could be outside, it could be by the beach, it could be in a forest, it could be in a room. Wherever you would like, imagine that you are in this location right now. Look around, notice what you see, what is in your environment. Pay attention to the colors. Imagine those colors becoming brighter and brighter. Pay attention to the sounds you can hear, the smells you can smell, the colors you can see. Imagine those sounds becoming louder and louder. Pay attention to how it feels to be here. See how natural it feels. Imagine that feeling becoming more and more strong within your body. Now that you feel comfortable, now that you feel confident that you can do inner work, what we're going to do now is we're going to connect with our higher self. And our higher self is going to guide us through this situation, this experience of transforming and becoming more worthy. Now, our higher self, the fruit of who we are, is that higher self, the soul. Now look around, there's a doorway in the middle of this room, freestanding. Now walk over to this door. Notice what the door looks like. And notice that on top of the door it says, your connection to your higher self. Our higher self is the banana inside the peeling, the true self inside of the false self. We're going to go to where the fruit is without the peeling. Now you can see the steps going down, and you can see that there's light at the bottom of this room. And what we're going to do is we're going to begin to take steps down into this room. And with every step we take, we're going to feel an increase of love in our body. We're going to feel an ability to easily let go of what doesn't serve. We're going to feel more present to the moment than ever before. With every step that we take, start taking steps down. Take one step. Take two. Notice how it feels. Put your hand on the railing as you go down, and with every step you take, you can feel yourself becoming more and more confident, more connected to the true self, the soul. We're about 10 steps away. We're going to count down from 10 to 1. With every number I count, you're going to feel yourself get closer to the bottom of this doorstep. To the bottom of these stairs, you're going to feel yourself increase the love inside of your heart. Feel yourself become more present to the moment. 10, take a step. Feel more love in your body begin to increase. 9, every number I count, double the amount of love, unconditional love inside of your heart. 8, allow this energy to flood through your body. 7, feeling an increase of energy. 6, as you take another step, you can feel double the amount of unconditional love in your heart. 5, you're getting closer to the bottom of the stairs. 4, 3, 2, double the amount of love inside of your heart. And 1, you are now at the bottom of the stairs. And as you turn, you can see a chair in the middle of this room. This is the chair that you can go to anytime you want. And in this chair, you're going to easily be able to remember any past experience that you intend to. You're going to be able to find out whatever you want to find. You're going to get clues as to what that is. It's going to be easier than ever for you to find out what that is. Now go ahead and walk over to this chair. Notice what this chair looks like. Notice how comfortable this chair looks. Now set the intention right now that when you sit in this chair, you're going to be able to easily remember any memories that you want, any memories that I guide you towards. you're going to be able to remember what those memories are, and you're going to feel strong. You're going to feel the ability to feel whatever comes up, knowing that as you do so, you are letting go of what no longer serves you. I should, I deserve, no longer serves you. And as you sit here, you feel how comfortable it is. And right now you're going to feel that you're going to be able to let go of what does not serve you, what is holding you back, what is an obstacle in your road. Notice that in this chair, it's so easy for you to ask and get answers. This is a chair of awareness. This is a chair that you can use to become aware of any inner work, any memories, anything you want. Now I'm going to direct your focus to what we call your past. Now understand that your past does not equal who you are. You are who you choose to be, but also understand that sometimes there may be some patterns in the past that we haven't dealt with, that we haven't felt completely. Now today we're looking at worthiness, of feeling whole and complete and enough. Understanding that in the past there is a situation, a circumstance of when we felt like we were not enough, when we felt like we had to become something or someone, or we should be something, or we deserve something to protect us. Now look and begin to become aware of any memory that surfaces from your past. Could be from when you're very young or any time in your past that was an experience of you feeling not whole and complete, not worthy, not enough. What is the first memory you have of when you didn't feel whole and complete? What is the first memory you have of when you felt like you weren't enough? What memory comes to your mind? How old were you? Begin to pay attention, because now the memory's coming, it's surfacing, you can see it more and more, clearer and clearer. How old were you when this happened? Who else was there in this memory? Pay attention to what you see. Pay attention to what you can hear. And notice that this memory is surfacing, and you can see it more and more. You're more and more aware of what this memory is. You're bringing this memory from the subconscious into the conscious. Now, whatever memory this is, become aware of what you felt in this memory, in this experience. Set the intention that right now, whatever happened, let it be okay for you to feel whatever emotion comes up. In the feeling of whatever comes up is the freedom for you to let it go. It's the releasing of the energy, the releasing of the belief. How did you feel in this circumstance, in this situation? What perspectives did you have? What emotions did you feel? Allow yourself to feel these emotions. Allow yourself to soak in whatever that experience is. Feel it. It is okay. If you feel like releasing emotion, it's okay. Let yourself feel whatever comes up. It's okay. Allow yourself to feel any emotion that you feel right now, knowing in that the feeling of the emotion is the freedom. You can allow yourself to feel whatever's coming up. relive this experience. Allow yourself to feel any emotion. Pay attention to what is happening. Be present with it. Because in the presence of this experience is the release, is you letting go, of you unattaching. It is attached to you. You've been living it, whether you know it or not, subconsciously. It's hanging around. Unhook it from your belt and let it go. Or unplug it like an extension cord. Unplug it from you and let it go. It's pulling at your energy, at your system, at your electrical system, at your frequency system. Know now that you can let go of all of that. You can allow yourself to be how you are. And this isn't about changing the past. You can't do that. This is about change. And we're not changing the emotion either. We're experiencing it, because in the experience is the closing of the pattern. Simply know that by you feeling the emotion like you just did, you are allowing a powerful release, a powerful unplugging, a powerful unhooking to happen so that you can let it go. These emotions aren't good or bad, they simply are. And by you feeling them, you are now allowing them to free themselves from you. Just like water going down a drain. Notice how much lightness you have. Notice that you're letting go of the patterns that no longer serve you. The I should statements, the I deserve statements, you can let those go. You can shift yourself into a new way of being, a way of being where you experience life. And whatever comes up, knowing that emotions are not good or bad, they simply are. And the more you allow yourself to experience life, the more alive you will feel. Now be grateful that you are able to feel these emotions. You are able to heal yourself from this past memory, this past experience. And to know that now you have closed the pattern, you have completed the pattern. From this point going forward, you are a completely new person. You are no longer living the scripts of your past. You are no longer carrying around that disturbance in your energy field. And you now are who you are meant to be. Now you can come back to this chair anytime you like to remember any memories and to feel the emotions and to complete the patterns. And you can always come back to this meditation in this chair and do that. Notice that right across from you is another chair. And this chair looks much more majestic, comfortable, embroidery, elaborate, deep. Go ahead and get up and walk over this chair. Notice how much more comfortable this chair looks. Now in this chair, you can sit in it and anytime you do, you're going to feel more love and more worthiness in your life than ever before. And notice that on this chair there's a dial. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn around, sit down, and crank up this dial. We're going to begin to feel the true vibration, the true frequency of who we really are. The frequency of the inner fruit, the soul, the banana without the peeling, the true self. We're going to feel that. We're going to tap into the true self, the soul. You feel the excitement because you know what is about to happen. You've just peeled another layer of the peeling away. You're a little freer than you were before. We're going to begin to increase the unconditional love frequency of who we really are. It already exists. we're just going to turn it up. Every notch that we move this dial up, you are going to feel an increase and a flood of unconditional love and worthiness through your body. You're going to feel more energy in your body than ever before. You may find that you are releasing, you're crying because it feels so good. You may find that you feel a level of love inside of your heart that you didn't even know was possible. It was all sealed up with the peeling, with the false self. The truth will set you free. Now I'm going to count and we're going to move this dial from 1 to 10. And with every number I count up, you're going to feel an increase, a double the amount of love inside of your body. You're going to feel an increase of this energy of who you really are. It's already there. We're just dialing it up and allowing it to flow. We're releasing who you really are. We're going to move from 1 to 2. Now you can feel it begin to increase through your feet, all the way up to your heart. You can feel this energy begin to tingle more and more. 3, feel it double throughout your body now. Move the dial up to 4 as you increase in this level of love. You're starting to feel it flood through your whole entire body. 5, even more love. You feel so whole, so complete. 6, you feel it increasing even more. You can feel it moving through your legs and through your heart and through your whole body now. 7, 8, double the amount of unconditional love, double the amount of sensation flowing through your whole body. Allow whatever emotion it is to come up. 9, and now here we go to the very maximum amount of love that you have ever felt in your life. 10, feel this energy flow through your entire body. Feel it flow through your entire body. Feel any emotion you like to know that you are whole and complete. This is who you really are. You are enough. You are the fruit. You are the fruit of the vine. Without the peeling, without the protection, without the barriers, without the obstacles. You are the pure fruit. Let this emotion flood through your body, healing anything that no longer serves. You can feel yourself letting go of any patterns that no longer serve. You are letting go of all the shoulds. I should be this. I should do that. I should act like this. You're letting go of all of that. You're letting go of I deserve, entitlement. You're letting go of your demands on what you feel like you deserve. You don't need that anymore because you have unconditional love that radiates. The frequency moves out and away from you. It has a rippling effect, like rippling across water. You do not have to demand what you think you deserve. That is a belief that no longer exists. You have enough. You are enough. You receive what you're given. You receive what comes down from the heavens for you through the Wi-Fi system to the soul. The soul is enough. It doesn't need to deserve anything. It has everything it needs. There's no longer a yearning for more. You are complete. You are whole as you are right now, today. You have wired in more love than ever before. As you go out throughout your day this week, you will notice that people respond to you in a new way. You'll notice that you relate to life in a new way. You feel more love in your life than ever before because you have pulled down the protection guards, and you know that your soul is now exposed and you are worthy. You are enough. You are whole. Everything you need, you have. Soak in this frequency, vibration. Soak in these words. Soak in this knowledge, because you know the truth of this will set you free. Free of the false self, to live as the true self, your soul. Bring your hands in front of your heart and choose 3 blessings in your life and give thanks. As you exhale, lower your ego mind below your compassionate heart in reverence. Inhale as you rise, and namaste. I'll see you tomorrow.
This is the false self. This is the neurotic self. We are all this banana, all of us, from age 4 to 5 on. This peeling is made up of false claims, shoulds. I should do this, I should do that. I deserve this, I deserve that. It's completely encompassing and closing. There's no way in. This is the persona, the false self that we have created around us. This is your breaking point. This is self-realization, studying, growing, changing. This is self-actualization. This is what we call finding ourselves. We're finding ourselves. We're peeling back the neurotic layers and pulling them away, cleaning it up. And this is the true self, buried under the false self. It's authentic. It's transparent. It's obvious. It's vulnerable. This is the fruit. This is the soul. This is the true self. Our entire work in life is to get rid of this so that we can live this. This holds our purpose, our mission, our relationships, our happiness. This is the payoff.